Welcome to the monthly review, and let's talk about my November. I would say that November was a month of many unexpected pictures. In the beginning of the month, I did my color planning and I intended to do a lot of fall pictures as November is the last month of the fall, but then, quite unexpectedly, I remembered about some of my abandoned books and I eagerly wanted to color something in these books. So, as I said, November was unpredictable but still interesting. Let's start from the first page. It was a page which I started in October but finished in November, and I'm quite happy how it looks. I'm glad that I finally returned to using a watercolor in Mena de Bonheur, even if only for the background, but I think that this pastel blue background color, it's one of the pastel colors from White Nights pastel watercolors. It really helped me to create soft, nice background, and also it was a very quick way to do it. I definitely didn't want to spend time doing background with pencils. I also tried to create at least some resembling balance, color balance on the page, so that's why backgrounds on these pictures and on these pictures are made in the same colors, and I tried to use a lot of colors repeatedly on many of the pictures. So I am quite pleased how everything looks. Maybe some of the elements, like some of these berries, I could do them a little bit more, a little bit better, but still the final look of all 5 pictures is totally what I like. Another picture which I started in October but finished only in November was this very beautiful Witch by Maud Lamont. I did background and the dress of the witch and her cauldron in October, and then I realized that probably paper which I used for printing isn't perfect for coloring small details, and I was really afraid to start coloring skin and especially face. But in the end, I decided that I still want to finish this beautiful image. So I gathered my courage and I selected several polychromos pencils and also different drawings, and they helped me to color ginger hair and also the face of the witch. Maybe she is far from perfect, but I still like how she looks. I wasn't sure if her ginger hair would look nice together with a red dress, but in the end I'm quite contented with all my color choices, and I am very grateful that Maud Lamont provided this beautiful image to color for Halloween. I really enjoyed it. And as we started to talk about my printed images, in November, I purchased another 2 books by Tatiana Bagema, both about Christmas. This image is from Christmas, and this one also is from Christmas. I also have purchased Santa's Village, but I hadn't started to color in it yet. Sorry, I was confused. So both pictures are from Christmas book. Here I decided that image is so detailed that I honestly don't want to add any background. It was really interesting to do all the details, and probably that's why I love Tatiana Bagema's books, because they have so many details on the pictures. I do enjoy coloring these cookies, and I love to color how I colored this teapot. Maybe I had to work more here on the fur on top of the Christmas stocking, and maybe I had to print it not on white but on toned paper, then it would be easier to do fur. But anyway, as a start from the Christmas book, I was quite contented when I finished it. And this illustration for me looks like some page from the children's book. I think that idea of the mouse which tried to write a letter to Santa and dreaming about various presents, it's quite cute, a very nice picture to do in the end of November, in the beginning of December, when we all start to do our wish lists. I tried to use some unusual bright colors which are appropriate for the child bedroom, and in the end I am really happy how everything looked here. Many of you asked me how I printed my pictures and which paper I use, so I decided to repeat once more. As I try not to go to many shops now, as our country is again on lockdown, the only paper available in my local art store was this paper from the local manufacturer. It was marked simply as paper for drawing, but I do like it. It's thicker comparing to the printer paper, so maybe you will be able to see it when. And it has nice texture. It works well with Prismacolors and even better with polychromoses, so maybe next pictures I will be doing with slightly harder pencils like polychromoses and Arteza. And it also don't have any texture, so I am perfectly able to put it in my printer and to print even small details. So I was quite happy that the only white paper available in my art store was cheap and quite nice, quite decent for printing. Unfortunately, I can't help you to add any advice about which paper you can use for printing because I hadn't tested many white papers. So I'm sorry guys, just try to find paper without texture so you can print all the details and also not very thin. Well, let's move further. Probably the moment of my best joy, my most proud moment in November was when I decided finally start this beautiful Korean book. It's the book which is called The Day We Finally Met, and pictures are absolutely adorable. But unfortunately, I had two not very successful attempts to start coloring in this book. When I got it, I was afraid to color in the book because of the beauty of the pictures, and after two not very successful starts, I was even more afraid. But finally, I did this summer picnic. All pencils work very well on this paper. I used both Prismacolors and polychromoses, and I did enjoy coloring it with so many interesting things, all these cute animals and yummy things. The only questionable moment was selection of color for the trees. I definitely didn't want to use any more greens because we already have some rose bushes, grass, trees which are far from us. So I decided to test this unusual color. And even if it looks a little bit strange, I still love my final result. And I think that now I am a little bit less afraid to do something else in this book. Let me show you closer some details. I really enjoyed coloring these roses and of course the central part with the picnic and all the animals. Book is amazing both in quality and in all the designs. Another picture which I am very happy with. Let me get it. It's a villain's son. Usually I struggle a lot with the designs by Tomislav Tomic, but this time it was a very easy coloring. And this hedgehog And all the mushrooms. I still tried to use some fall colors, that's why I used yellow and orange on the leaves and warm yellow greens on the background. So it was easy, it was nice, and I enjoyed each and every moment of it. I hope that my small cute gnomes aren't lost on the very detailed background. I hope that you can see them. So another one finished project in Villain Sun, and probably it was the easiest one from all my finished projects here. It's surprisingly, but somehow almost all my finished projects are in the beginning of the book, so I color almost in order in this book. I don't think if I would be doing something in Villain Sun in December, probably I will do a break because of all the Christmas designs, but I definitely want to continue coloring in Villain Sun starting from January. Another book which I hadn't used for some time and to which I was very happy to return to was this book by Anastasia Koldereva. Here we have When Dragon Dreams. I did this underwater dragon. I think that I did this page because I purchased a new color of White Nights watercolor. It was this bright green. Paint was called May Green, and I thought that using it together with other hues or greens may create quite nice background for this underwater dragon. Let me show you closer the scales of the dragon. I do love how I combined colors, combined pencils, and that I managed to use both golden color combo and this violet green blue. In the beginning I was afraid that such different color palettes won't look nice together on the body of the dragon, but then thanks to these reflections of colors I managed to use them both together, and I am quite happy how my dragon looks. Here I have my fishes. And I was so happy with the process and with the final result that I immediately started another dragon. But I tried to use totally different color palette. So my second dragon is magenta, pink, violet and blue, and a lot of warm colors. I think that here most of all I was proud of the shell. I did it step by step without any preliminary planning. First I did underpaint using White Nights watercolors, and I used another one of my new colors which was Dune, which helped me to create this very soft beige color, and then I added brown colors and a little bit of lavender, blue and yellow. I try to show how various colors are reflecting from the pearl surface of the shell. So shell probably was much more difficult for me comparing to the dragon. For the dragon I simply used a couple of my favorite colors from Derwent Color Softs, and they worked very nice here. I was very happy that at least somewhere I can use them. Also I added artisan. Probably the most interesting part was when I decided to add this blue and yellow as some bright spots on the body of the dragon, and I think that blue was very helpful here. I am quite happy first that I returned to this book, and I do like how both dragons look. A very nice book. Speaking about watercolors, I did another couple of pages where I used them In November, I had some moments when I was too tired or maybe without any inspiration to do something complicated, so I simply want to play with watercolors. So that's why I did this a very simple page. I simply wanted to work a little bit more with watercolors. It was relaxing for me, it calmed me, and I did this background combining various browns and also olive green, and then I decided to finish it. Here I combined various mediums. Neo colors for the central part of the background, Artisa for the birds and gnomes, and even ink tanks for the upper row of the leaves. And I do enjoy it. It's far from something perfect. It's ordinary work, but I enjoyed working with various mediums, and somehow this average work helped me to get more interest in coloring back. So after that I did page completely with watercolors. Let me adjust my camera. I hope that you will be able to see my turtle. I started it because I wanted to practice more on this underwater background. And when I finished background, I realized that I actually also have to color turtle, and I had no idea how to do it. Then I went to the profile of the amazing artist Morgan Davidson. I believe it's an artist who provided cover pictures for all Prismacolor boxes, and on one of the boxes there is a fantasy turtle where she used also violet and pink colors. So that image gave me an idea that I don't have to use a very realistic colors for the turtle, all those grays and browns and yellow which we can usually see on the shell of the turtle and on its body. So I decided to use whatever colors I wanted. Let me show you closer. The only area where I am not quite convinced in colors which I selected, it's the head of the turtle. Maybe I will try to change this color on the forehead and to use more of this gray-green color. Maybe the head would look better, but I definitely like how I used this orange and pink colors on the on the legs. I don't know, on the legs probably, and together with these bright yellow browns of the shell and on the plaster, I think the turtle, it's not bad, at least for the first attempt to do turtles. And I didn't use any pencils here, only to outline the central part of the eye with black pencil. Everything else, all these small textures, are made with watercolors, and that's why I am quite proud of this work, even if turtle itself can be a little bit better. Anyway, spirit animal really helped me to feel more confident in my watercolor skills and to practice more. So in January, of course, I will continue to color in it. Of course, I still tried to do as many fall pictures as possible in November, and in autumn scenes I need two pictures. I just need to find them. Sorry. The first one is with a red barn, and a red barn was the reason why I decided to do this page. I don't know why, but I do love when I saw some pictures from American country and when they have these bright barns on the fields. And I also wanted to practice more how to use various yellow colors for the autumn leaves. Usually I mostly do green grass and green trees, so to use a lot of yellow and brown colors, it was interesting. In the end of the month I was totally ready to stop coloring all those pumpkins. I was tired of them, but still I had to color this pumpkin, but at least I did this a very bright green card. And another page which I like a little bit more, it's this very old bench and old window. I deliberately tried to create impression of the old weathered window and old bench where turquoise paint is already faded, maybe peeled off from the time and from rains, so we can see some lighter areas of turquoise, some have some brown addition, and in this way I tried to show that everything is quite old. My most difficult part here was those leaves. I tried to work on them both with pencils and with paint, and again I had to color pumpkins. But in the end, I do love this page. For the flowers I selected various violet lavender colors because it's color of chrysanthemum flowers, the latest flowers which we have in bloom here in Kiev, so it helped me to select colors for this page. And that were my second finished page in autumn scenes. Another page which was inspired by fall colors was page in book by Meredith Dillman, and you know that I hadn't colored in it for some time. I'm very happy to return to it. I selected this kitsune page. I had some difficulties with working on this paper. I switched between Prismacolors and polychromases. On the details it worked nice, on the kimono, on the tree and all those leaves, but on the background I struggled a little bit. I decided to add this turquoise of water in front of the kitsune. I hoped that somehow it would help to fill in this very empty lower part of the page, because top part was very detailed, and in order to create some balance I decided to draw it. And I tried to add this reflection of the leaves in the surface of the water. Of course, water doesn't look realistic at all, but at least I love how this turquoise color combines with all reds and oranges. I saw a lot of beautiful pictures of the fall time in Japan when all those maple trees have leaves full of orange and red colors, and that image I wanted to recreate here. Maybe let me show you some details closer, but color along is available on my channel, so if you want to, you can color together with me. Next, very unexpectedly I remembered about my goddesses book. I love it, but as I have so many books, I don't have enough time to color in all of them. But somehow I realized that I want to color this white buffalo woman. I mixed Arteza and polychromases. For me they behaved better on this paper comparing to Prismacolors, but Prismacolors helped me to create fur of the white buffalo. I am very happy with the result. It was quick coloring. I will try not to put it on the shelf and to do something else in this book. I do love Martin Noble's designs. Another traditional artist for me is Selena Fenig. You know that I try to do at least one of her pages each month, and this month it was time for the Goose Girl. Just let me find it. As usual, I forgot to put a bookmark. Here I have my finished page. I used Prismacolors for the background because it's easier and quicker to cover areas like sky or wood using softer pencils, but on the details like hair, skin or dress, I used polychromoses. I don't know, but much more I enjoyed coloring this geese comparing to Princess, but still I think that Princess also looks not so bad. I didn't want to use over bright colors, so in the end I stopped at these quite pastel colors where the dress of the princess is probably the focal point of the page, and that's exactly what I wanted to create here. You probably have heard that recently Selena Fenig has published beautiful new coloring book which is called Dark Fantasy. So I think that I have to speed up coloring in mine books by Selena if I want to purchase myself a new one. I like to collect Selena's books, but most of all I enjoy coloring in them, so I definitely need to color more. And I can promise you at least two new pictures from this book in December. So if you want, you will be able to follow me and to color along together with me. Next book is A Romantic Country. It's fun how I hadn't used it for 3 years and now I did at least one page in it each month. So this November project was stables. Here everything was easy apart from horse. I have no idea how properly color horses, and I even have had difficulties to understand exactly where we have all parts of the horse, so I slightly changed the shape of the body and probably I still made a mistake. I still think that maybe here on the right side I had to draw more of the mane, but anyway, poor horse looks strange, but everything else was quite easy to do. I tried to draw some details on the walls. I decided to create it as an evening page, so here we have this light from the candle and light inside of the lamp. I tried to use bright colors for the girl in order not to lose it among all other elements on the page. And I even enjoyed coloring such simple things like door or straw. Most of all, I am happy that another project is finished in this book. And finally, let me show you my last November work, and it was from Sagar och Zagner. The last days of November I dedicated to this postman gnome and this very cute mouse. Start of this work was quite challenging. I wasn't sure in the colors which I have selected for the sky, and for the ground I had to change my colors which I initially planned. Then I was afraid that beginning and all colors which I used were quite dark, but then gradually after I colored gnome and mushrooms and this cute mouse, and when I added this color, this decorative snowflakes, giant snowflakes, everything started to look much more cheerful and festive. So this is my last November of work. Some of the color alongs are available on this channel, some of them are available on Patreon, and for the members of my channel. I hope that you will be coloring with me in December. I still have to finish my list of December plans, but thanks for all your prompts which you left me under my videos where I asked you which pictures to color. Also, there are so many wonderful freebie pictures which I also want to try coloring. And of course, in couple of days, I will start to film my traditional annual video about my full collection of coloring books and finished pictures. I predict that it will be a very long serial of several videos because I have quite huge collection, but I hope that you also will be watching these annual reviews. Thank you, and I hope that you will have a wonderful December.